On a hot day in the middle of summer, or during an icy winter snowstorm, the world can feel dreadfully inhospitable. Too cold to get out of bed, too hot to face the world outside. But for some animals, life is far more extreme. They would laugh at us in our lap of luxury if they only knew. These animals have adaptations that make life possible where it seems like it shouldn't be. These aren't just difficult environments, they're lethal. Freezing temperatures, zero water, crushing pressure, toxic food. Conditions that would kill you in minutes. But these animals don't just scrape by in these environments. They're built for them. Here are 6 animals with extreme survival adaptations that let them thrive under deadly circumstances. Number 1. Kangaroo rats. If a kangaroo rat had to drink water to survive, it would die in days, because in its natural habitat, the hot, dry desert, free water barely exists. No streams, no puddles, nothing reliable. So, instead of finding water, it makes its own. Kangaroo rats get moisture entirely from the seeds they eat. Inside their bodies, metabolic processes break down foods and release water as a byproduct. Additionally, their bodies are so adapted to desert life that they lose almost no water. Their urine is incredibly concentrated to conserve every drop of water, and their breathing is adapted to minimize moisture loss. What water they do lose from breathing is absorbed by the seeds they store in their burrows, so the rats get it back when they eat. The result of all of this is that they can go their entire lives without ever taking a drink. To you, water is non-negotiable, but to a kangaroo rat, it's take it or leave it. Number 2. Emperor penguins. If emperor penguins couldn't retain heat, they would freeze within hours, because they live in one of the coldest places on Earth, Antarctica. Temperatures can drop below -40 with brutal winds that strip away body heat even faster. Standing still in that environment should be fatal, but emperor penguins are built to resist these conditions. They have dense layers of feathers that trap heat close to the body, and underneath, a thick layer of fat adds insulation. But insulation alone isn't enough, so they change behavior. They huddle together in massive groups, constantly shifting positions. Penguins on the outside rotate inward, sharing warmth and reducing exposure. No single penguin stays in the cold for too long. For a human, the winds of Antarctica would become deadly quick. But for emperor penguins, survival is built into both their bodies and their social structure. Number 3. Vultures. If a person tried to live off of a vulture's diet, they'd be dead quick. Because vultures don't eat fresh meat, they eat carrion, dead animals that are often contaminated with bacteria and toxins. Vultures regularly eat meat contaminated with dangerous pathogens like anthrax and botulism. For most animals, this would be fatal, but vultures are built for it. Their stomach acid is extremely strong, far more acidic than most animals. It breaks down not just the meat, but harmful bacteria as well. Their immune system is adapted to handle what survives digestion. This allows them to fill a role no other animal can, and gives them the opportunity to eat the meat that others can't touch. To you, that food is deadly, but to a vulture, it's a safe, reliable meal source. Number 4. Crocodiles. If a crocodile needed constant food, it wouldn't survive long, because prey isn't always available. Hunts can fail, and food can disappear for long periods. But crocodiles don't depend on frequent meals. They survive by using almost no energy. Their metabolism is extremely slow, allowing them to go weeks or even months without eating. They spend most of their time motionless, conserving energy. But when they need the boost, they can dig deep and explode with force. Short bursts of intense energy, followed by long periods of rest. This strategy of substituting consumption for patience has let them survive for millions of years. Number 5. Camels. If camels lost as much water as they do without their adaptations, they would have gone extinct a long time ago. Because dehydration quickly leads to death as blood thickens and organs shut down. but camels can lose up to 25% of their body weight in water and still survive. By comparison, humans are considered dehydrated when we lose 3% of our body weight in water. But camel bodies are built to handle it. Their red blood cells are shaped to keep flowing even as the blood thickens from dehydration. They can also rapidly rehydrate, drinking large amounts of water without harm. But that's not all. They have adaptations on the other end of the spectrum as well. They don't lose water easily. They sweat less, tolerate higher body temperatures, and conserve moisture efficiently. This allows them to endure long periods without drinking. To you, dehydration is a hard limit, but to a camel, it's something the body is designed to handle. Number 6. Tardigrades. And then there's the most extreme. Extreme heat, extreme cold, radiation, or even the vacuum of space. Any of these are enough to kill most animals, but not all. Tardigrades don't miss a beat. They survive conditions that should be completely uninhabitable. When their environment becomes too extreme, they enter a state called cryptobiosis. Their bodies dry out, metabolism nearly stops, and they curl into a protective form. In this state, they can survive extreme temperatures, intense radiation, complete dehydration, and even the vacuum of space. And then, when conditions improve, they come back to life. Normal function resumes as if nothing had happened. To anyone else, these conditions would be fatal, but for a tardigrade, it's just a timeout. These environments aren't just challenging, they're deadly. Freezing temperatures, extreme dehydration, toxic food, conditions that would end most life immediately. But these animals don't avoid these extremes, they thrive in them, which tells us something important. What feels like the limit of survival to us is just the starting point for something else. And for the right body, even the harshest conditions on Earth aren't obstacles. They're home.